I started to get blamed by the rest of the family, and they were blaming me for the death.
In today's video, you will learn the secrets of some of your celebrities. You will definitely learn the type of style you are not so afraid of. Chaos is never a good thing to uphold, and it should definitely not be something easy to dabble into. However, for some, chaos seems to be the only thing that follows them outside what they are primarily known for, of course. It can become worrisome when they are constantly seen losing control. Most times, their loss of control varies from using drugs to abuse or theft. Some celebrities in this category are as follows. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We are giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice, so be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter this giveaway. It's really that simple. Nick Carter. Being a music buff should already give you an insight on what I am about to talk about, but in case you have no idea who Nick Carter is and the type of trouble he constantly got himself into, you are about to find out. First of the things to know is that Nick was once a full-fledged member of the Backstreet Boys. Just like their name, the street loved them and practically thought their music was gold. Were they worth the hype? From my point of view, they were. Not to digress, Nick was a member, but he was the father of chaos and he constantly went in and out of parties. He drank a lot until he became addicted and graduated quickly into taking drugs. As you might have guessed, it did not take very long for him to get addicted to drugs too. It was highly worrisome for his lovers and fans, but they could do little. Carter knew he had to turn over a new leaf when he got diagnosed with cardiomyopathy and a weakening of the heart. I think he snapped out of it at that very moment, and while we are extremely happy for him and excited that he has been doing better ever since, sometimes we worry because he still drinks occasionally. Britney Spears. Music comes easily to so many people, but to Britney, music is more like her best pal that she has a mutual understanding with. She is highly respected for her talent among her peers and has so many singers and vocalists looking up to her. Well, her music is as far as they can say they look up to because Britney's personal life is clothed with chaos. So much that sometimes it feels like the drama that follows her is able to outshine her talent. Her loss of control did not just come out of the blue, by the way. She divorced her husband, Kevin Federline, and things literally spiraled out of control. After her divorce, she partied hard with the duo Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. Partying did not do it for her. She was seen checking herself into a rehab facility after that public partying with her friends. And honestly, no one can categorically say what she handed herself over for. She did it anyway. After leaving, she had her fun with Adnan Galib when she dated him until she was put in a 5150 psychiatric hold and placed under a court-ordered conservator. It has not been the prettiest for Britney ever since, but it surely has been a bit peaceful with her living in her apartment in Las Vegas. Demi Lovato. It sure looks like musicians are the messiest celebrities ever. This is the third on the list, and it has been musicians so far. Anyway, I am not going to catch my breath just yet. Demi checked into a rehabilitation center in the year 2010, but before this seemingly controlled and smart move, she shared that she was at her worst, basically not being able to do without drugs. She was quite specific in her description. She said that she was always looking for ways to get the drug into her system, and most times it did not matter that she was on a flight with others. She would just wait until they were all relaxed and rested, then she would quickly get it done. It is sad that Demi started taking drugs at a very tender age of 19. Is she in a better place now? You can bet. The good news about her own case is that she indeed got better after checking herself into a rehabilitation center. Ever since, she has been sober. Justin Bieber. America's sweetheart or not? I vote that Justin is indeed America's sweetheart, or at least he used to be. No matter how indifferent you want to be with the statement or how much you ache to disagree, you cannot deny that for a long time, Justin was everyone's sweetheart and so many people's crush. But has this man always been on his best behavior all his life? Definitely not. The media loves Justin, so there is a guarantee that most of the things he does these days would get out there. He started being out of control publicly when he was caught on camera urinating in the Mops Bucket restaurant. He was also seen cursing at Bill Clinton's picture as he dumped cleaner on it. As usual, his fans took to supporting him, even if the act was clearly worrisome. Some just found the whole thing ridiculously funny. Others felt that there was a need for worry. Their fears would have been dismissed if he did not continue to misbehave after the first incident. He was constantly having run-ins with the paparazzi. Thinking about those times now, it must really have been exhausting having people follow you around like that. Sadly, that is the life that these celebrities have to put up with. He was also caught with prostitutes in Brazil. In the year 2014, he was arrested for being under the influence of drugs and drive racing at the same time. A lot of weird stories just surrounded him. With his relation with Selena Gomez being the talk of the world, it did not help at all. He was so into marijuana that he did not care or respect the policy of travel. He was once reported to be smoking marijuana on his private jet. The smoke was so thick that the pilots had to use oxygen masks. Whew, that's a lot. Miley Cyrus. I am smiling because Miley Cyrus is like a poster girl for chaos or lack of control. Whatever name you want to put on it, as long as it is the opposite of controlled, reserved, decorum, you have Miley's name written boldly on it. Trust me, I do not think the kind of life she has led could have been easy, but Miley looks like she is dealing with her stuff just fine every time she appears in public. Well, except for times when she really wants to be the Miley that confuses us. Then she is seen doing a lot of things that you would not imagine any public figure would do. But she does not seem to care. Many people believe she is just drunk for attention. They cannot think of any other thing that justifies her behavior. She has been seen doing something quite inappropriate on the Bangers tour. She did this, of course, while being high on marijuana, being covered in marijuana leaves, and pretending to form an indecent act on a man that looked like Bill Clinton would be a close second to the list of crazy things she has done. One thing about Miley is that her next antic is always more chaotic than the last. What do we do with Miley if she will not make us stop worrying? Sadly, little or nothing can be done, except we enjoy her music and close our eyes to her personality. Chris Brown. I am sorry, but I cannot help but think about this man as Rihanna's boyfriend. Basically, anytime his name appears around me, this is what comes to mind. Could this be because the wildest scandal of his life is centered on the pop star? What we are not going to do, though, is make Chris Brown look like he is not one of the most talented persons on earth. The fact remains that his talent is beautiful and his life more chaotic. If we are keeping it truthful, he was convicted of assault in 2009, tried to dodge the community service, and another 1,000 hours was added to complete his community service. Ariana Grande, who licks donuts in a donut shop in California? Have you heard of Ariana? That is who. Although we cannot really say that Ariana has thrown caution to the wind on many occasions, we can talk about her hate speech against America. Of course, so many people were salty over this comment. Ariana insisted it was taken out of context. We will never know the truth, and that is already in my heart. Solange Knowles. This is strange because for so long, the Knowles have minded their business. But when has being out of control for just once ever been that terrible? So yes, just this once, Solange showed us that she cannot always be in charge of her emotions. She hit her brother-in-law, Jay-Z, in an elevator, and it got people really talking and enraged for so long. What really shocked people to the marrow was not really the fact that Solange hit Jay-Z, it was the fact that Beyonce was on the same elevator and she watched as this happened and did not seem bothered. Solange said her family has been good, but what do we know? I personally choose peace, so I'm going to take Solange's word for it. Vanessa Hudgens. Her loss of control is not something to worry about, rather something to carelessly laugh about, because to me, it was indeed funny that she would post a photo on Instagram of her name and her boyfriend's name, Austin Butler, carved carefully into a rock in Sedona. But what did NBCNews.com think of this gesture? They definitely did not see romance. They saw violence because that is the explanation of what they were charged with. She was charged for misdemeanor for damage to a natural feature on U.S. Forest Service land. She paid a huge amount of money to restitute. This is quite humbling because the whole scenario could have easily been avoided. But who could have known? Shia LaBeouf. When you look like Shy, you must know that it must be a serious issue to have people talking about it. He has been seen behaving erratically around people these days, stealing money, among other things. Although he seems to be very good to look at, being in and out of prison for behaving and endangering the environments you claim to love is definitely not someone people want in their corner. So here is where I stop for this session. As much as you have learned in this class, you must look forward to learning more. See you next time.